Hey guys, I'm here at the Danforth Music Hall with Gerard Way before his show tonight. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good. You released your brand new solo album in September, Hesitant Alien. How's the fans' reaction been so far towards that?
It's been super great. The shows have been this really kind of positive atmosphere, you know. It's been great.
It's really cool to see how you changed it up this time around. It's really refreshing.
Cool, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad.
How's your experience been touring as a solo artist compared to when you were with your band?
I mean, it's just different, obviously. You know, it's just everything's obviously a lot smaller, and it's a little easier, and it's just nothing too different. You're still touring around and seeing the world and stuff. Obviously, I miss the guys,
Yeah.
It's just a different thing,
I also read that you were very influenced about the 90s Britpop scene.
Yeah.
So how did you discover that scene, and what drew you to make that your inspiration for this album?
It was the music that always had stayed with me over the years. I had discovered punk when I was young, and then grunge came out, and I didn't really respond to that, but I responded to Britpop. And I found myself just listening to this stuff over and over again, throughout all the years.
That's awesome. What were some of your favorite artists from this era?
Definitely Blur and Pulp and Supergrass and Lush. I really dug Elastica and Sleeper, Echo Belly,
Shortly after Hesitant Alien came out, you also released your Marvel issue,
Right.
the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that collab come about?
Nick Lowe, who's the editor of Spider-Man, he used to be the editor of all the X-Books before they had moved him to Spider-Man. And he had been wanting to work with me for years because he was a fan of Umbrella Academy. And so the time was never right, but he caught me in this window kind of right after I'd finished Hesitant Alien, where I didn't have anything to do for 2 months. So he said, "Would you write an issue?" And I said, "Sure."
So that totally worked out.
Yeah,
then.
it worked out, yeah.
And it's pretty neat that you chose a female to be your main in yours. What led you to that decision?
I just thought about the concept of Spider-Man first and foremost, I really boiled down. I knew I had wanted to write a young woman. That was just a decision that I knew I'd wanted to do. But I thought about how Spider-Man is basically bitten by this radioactive spider, and that's kind of the genesis of how I become Spider-Man. I thought about an interesting way to use that very spider to have it be something that still exists in Spider-Person's life.
Yeah. Do you find the writing between music and comics they kind of feed off of each other, or is it two different processes and kind of harder? It
is two different processes, but all your art is connected and circular and feeds into each other, and some of the vibe of my Spider-Man issue is kind of got a little of the vibe of Hesitant Alien to it. I think it's unavoidable. When I wrote Umbrella Academy, I was doing Black Parade, and that has that energy,
Yeah.
So.
And then, you seem to do a lot of different mediums. You use a lot of different mediums to convey your artwork. Do you have a favorite medium, or is one more challenging than the other when you're doing that?
My favorite's music, for sure. It's the one that comes most. It's the one I have to work at the hardest. But it comes kind of very second nature to me to make music.
Yes.
So.
That's always good.
Yeah.
And my last question is, who is exactly Lola, and how did you come up with the idea to create such a lovable character that...
I thought back to these 90s albums, and a lot of them had some kind of image or person or mascot or thing that was connected to the album in an abstract way, not in a way that it was this is directly related to the meaning of the album. But they just kind of had these characters, and I thought about kind of making up my own, and I thought about Lola as a friend, maybe an imaginary one, but you're not sure. Obviously the record's very fuzzy, so Lola's fuzzy.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, because it's Lola also has a support group going on Tumblr and stuff like that.
Really,
it's helping.
People really dig Lola, which is really awesome,
And just to end things off, where can fans find you on social media?
I'm Gerard Way on Twitter. I think it's just at Gerard Way. My Facebook is, I don't know, I think it's just Gerard Way. on Facebook.
It's just the same thing all the
I
way
think it's
through.
just my name. Yeah, and my website's my name.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.